Hello Leo, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Leo for the rest of 2022. So this will be from the period of now in August all the way through to December 31st. Do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whatever sign resonates for you. All these readings are based on resonance. I am using the Gilded Tarot, the Kipper Oracle deck, as well as the Keepers of the Light Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below if you'd like to pick them up for yourself. Also, do hit the like button and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow in a big way. All right, let's go see what we have here for you, Leo, for the rest of this 2022. I do hope you're doing well. Things are going good for you. I think that looks just about good enough to me. We'll go ahead and take 3 of these tarot cards. We'll take 3 of these Kipper cards, and then we'll also take 3 of these Keepers of the Light cards. I think I want to put those up there. All right. I think that's good enough to me. Energy on the bottom, you have the 9 of Swords. So the 9 of Swords is really this message of you potentially right now going through some period of anxiety, stress, fear, worry. It can be about mental anguish. Okay, you can see that this person's staying up late at night. They're having a nightmare. They're in the middle of, they're in the middle of like a panic, maybe a panic attack, or they're in the middle of some sort of fearful situation. And this is a card that's heavily associated with your mental state, your anxiety, fears, all of those sorts of situations. I do have to say that there's something here involving your mental state. You know what? I'm going to put these down here. I'm going to put this up here. There's something here involving your mental state that is coming forward for you in the rest of this year, Leo. This is not meant to scare you, but you have 3 of 4 Swords card plus the Moon and the 9 of Swords on the bottom, showing up in the future column here, which we'll talk about more as we go along. So I would say, for the rest of this year, it might be a very wise idea to invest in some sort of mindfulness practice. I know I say it a lot in my readings, but I do truly believe in mindfulness. But for this type of reading, I truly believe that could be extremely helpful for you, Leo, to invest in some sort of mindfulness practice, to take inventory and take notes of the thoughts that are sort of showing up and appearing for you. It could be very helpful. Let's go ahead and dive into this a little bit more. So we have this interesting situation here in the cross where you have 2 pages. So pages in tarot represent messengers, and they are people who spread information, okay? And so this can be, it's about somebody who's potentially, messengers can be about news, but they can also be about the sharing of information, offers, opportunities. In the overall, or in the current situation, you have the Page of Pentacles, which is really about a good prospect in your life, potentially you being made aware of a good prospect in your life. And the thing about the Page of Pentacles is this person has really worked hard to acquire something, or to get this offer, or to get this opportunity. This person is a studious and academic person. They are a hard worker and conscientious as well of their time, of the work that they put into something. And so it's like, I think some of you here, first and foremost, I think maybe some of you who are watching this are students, or you're going back to school in some capacity. And this might not even be formal like university. This could be you picking up training, doing an online course, or there's something here that you're maybe learning over the next couple months, over the rest of the year here. And I think that this will pay off for you in the form of maybe some sort of offer or opportunity. Maybe you're joining like a boot camp. Like this is found oftentimes in like programming or coding. You'll like join a boot camp, and then you can get a job. Or some of you may be doing something like that. You may also literally be a student or going back to school in some ways. In the problem position, you do have the Page of Wands. Okay, so this is a situation that I'm not presented with very often, which is Page in the overall or current situation or overall situation, and the Page of Wands in the problem situation. And so the Page of Wands is something that's fast, okay? Page of Wands can represent a job offer. More so, the Page of Pentacles might be an offer in the material realm or a prospect in one's life, tying maybe into academia or into your money situation or into your home or living situation or anything like that, versus the Page of Wands is about a literal job offer. Okay, this is about like you throwing out resumes and getting interviews, or even just quite literally receiving a job offer. And so I almost feel like some of you, I mean, it's almost like either you get an offer but the money attached to it is not right, like it's just not going to work for you money-wise, or you are out of school and you're searching for a job offer and it's not happening right now, or you're learning something and for whatever reason the skills are not being applied towards money in some ways. Like this is what I'm seeing here. There's maybe a communication that you're hoping for that's not happening right now for whatever reason, and this is going to really tie into your mental situation and your mental health over the rest of the year. In the past, you have the Magician. Love to see the Magician. The Magician is somebody who's considered to be the master manifester in the tarot. They have all of these tools, skills, talents, and abilities in the palm of their hand, and they can use them to manifest something into their life. It does ask you to take action. I think some of you have recognized that you want to be somewhere that you currently, or that you were at the time you were not there and you wanted to be somewhere. And so in recognizing that, you started learning something here with the Page of Pentacles, or you started picking something up to add to your skill bag or to your repertoire. And I think that this has been the type of manifestation that you've created for yourself, which is you recognize the gap that you needed to fill, you took the action, and now you have these skills that are here, right? They're in the palm of your hand, they're within you. And I think that that's what's been going on in the past for you. In the future, you do have this Page of Pentacles. So I almost feel like saying to you, Leo, like, have no fear here, because the Page of Pentacles, this can be a new start in money. This is a card that is associated with contracts, documents, paperwork, like signing off on something new in your life, signing off on something. And it can be like new money. It can be you planting a seed that then grows into something big as well in your life, such as, I don't know, starting a business or taking throwing off a resume to a place that you didn't think you were going to, or like putting a resume into a workplace that you didn't think you had a chance at getting, or something like that. But it's this idea of you planting a seed and it really growing. It's a new beginning. And with the cross here with the double pages, which is really interesting, you manifesting something. To see the Ace of Pentacles in the future is a very good sign that there will be a new beginning in the future for you based on all of this. In your thoughts, in your conscious awareness, what you can't see, or what you can see. This is what you can see. This is in your thoughts. You have the Queen of Swords. Okay, Swords is about your thought process. It's about your mental process. It's about your mental health. And you have this Queen of Swords here, and then you have all of these swords showing up in the future. This Queen of Swords person, they cut out the ruminating thoughts. They focus on something in a deep way. The Queen of Swords is a card of deep focus on a goal, on an outcome, on an opportunity. And I feel like, I always say the Queen of Swords is like the assassin in the tarot, and they don't let anybody or anything stop them from completing their goal. And so it's almost like what I feel like telling you is, maintain your high level of focus that you have here, Leo, and do the best, to the best of your ability, cut out the ruminating thoughts, or just be aware of or mindful of the ruminating thoughts. In the subconscious, what you can't see or the hidden, you do have this Three of Pentacles, which is about your teammates or your team situation. It could also be about reward and recognition for being a really skilled employee or a skilled person. You can see the mallet here on the belt, the anvil in the background. They're holding up work that they're proud of. They presumably built this statue here, in the past. And so this represents craftsmanship, artistry, anything that you do with your hands, or just plainly being skilled or uniquely gifted in whatever area of life that you work in. And so it can be a very good card of reward. It's sort of like the initial recognition that you need to kind of move up in a situation. So definitely like to see what's going on here in your current orbit. In the staff, in the direction that you are headed, in your current influence, the way that you are influencing the situation, you do have the moon. The moon is about deception, potentially. It's about potentially something that is not as it appears. This says that you should be careful because all of the details are not necessarily available to you at this time. The moon can be a word of caution. It can also ask you to be careful of emotionally charged situations. On another level, though, the moon is just simply a card that asks you to trust your gut. It's one of the most intuitive cards in the tarot, and really tap into what you feel intuitively to help you forward here. There's something in your thoughts here that your thoughts are providing you, your thoughts are blocking you in some ways here. And I say this because every other card, in addition to the moon, is a swords card, as I've said at the beginning, and I've said at length now, but also because this 9 of swords is on the bottom. You also now have this progression of the 8, 9, 10 of swords. So that's like, those cards come one after the other, okay? And so there's this progression of events in your mental process and with your mental health that I think needs to just, for the rest of the year, I think really needs to, you really need to just be aware of the thoughts that are showing up for you. In the external situation, you have the 8 of swords. The 8 of swords is all about being trapped and limited in your thoughts. This is about self-limiting beliefs. You could even see that they are trapped in their thoughts here. Each sword represents a thought, and they are having a hard way out, having a hard time getting out of this. They're also wearing a blindfold, meaning that they can't see because of the overabundance of thoughts. And so there's something outside of you. There's something basically what I mean by that is there's something that you can't control here that is, there's something that you can't control here that is really weighing on you mentally in the next 4 months or so, give or take, for the rest of the year. And I think just having that knowledge now could be very helpful for you so that you can maybe adopt some type of mindfulness practice. In the hopes and fears situation, you do have this 10 of swords, which is all about an ending. Some of you are fearful, severely, very fearful of something not happening. So you have this new beginning showing up in the future, but you're fearful that this isn't coming in, right? You fear something here very clearly with the 9 of swords and the 10 of swords. 9 of swords being a card of fear, and then the 10 of swords, 10 of swords is something that's completely done. It's like not coming back. There's an element of finality with the 10 of swords, and you're fearful that that something has been closed out forever. And what I would say is, if there is something that is not coming back, it doesn't mean that there's another door right next to you, or it doesn't mean that there will never be another door for you to be able to walk into. And so I think that that's also a message that some people need to hear. There are so many doors in life that we get to open and walk down and walk through, and that's something that I feel like saying. In the outcome, you have the 2 of swords, again, blindfold energy. You have the blindfold here with the 8 of swords, having a hard time seeing, okay? This is about being in a deadlocked situation or being in a crossroads mentally. And it's just so important for Leos at this time for the rest of the year to be aware of the thoughts that are coming in. So not to sound like a broken record here, but it's just one confirmation after confirmation here. Let's go ahead and take a look at these 3 tarot cards to clarify. Okay, so you've got the High Priestess, you have the Death card, and you have the 2 of Pentacles. So the High Priestess is a major message of intuition. It's also something that's maybe hidden in your life. It's something that's maybe secret, but it's also knowledge that you can't find in textbooks. It's knowledge that comes from the intuitive areas of life. you have this ending here with the death card. The death card does not mean death and dying, just to be clear. It's an ending. It's a transformation or an ending in your life. Endings are scary, transformations are scary, but they're ultimately very necessary. And then the Two of Pentacles, some of you, this mental situation, this could all be related to, money for some of you, okay? This could all be related to money for some of you. Two of Pentacles represents changes in finances. You have Horus, Cosmic Gateway. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. You can't make that up. You have El Moria, Awakening Presence. The universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. And then you have, you already know the answer you seek. Trust the answer you know with Katumi, Cloak of Wisdom. So it's like, remember, you have this Ace of Pentacles. There is a new beginning in the future. And I think some of you maybe grounding yourself in that knowingness could be very helpful. And look, your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. I think that this is the most important message for you for the rest of the year. Yeah, look, there's just ending after ending here, or there's one thing that's ending that's very important. You have Mature Man, Coffin, and Pathway, and it's almost like some of you are very fearful of this situation ending. Coffin, Death card, and the Ten of Swords. But the thing is, what's going on here is you also have this pathway energy with it, which is your true north. It's your destiny in life. It's what you're supposed to be doing in this lifetime. And so when you get that pathway card, it's always a welcome sign of you being on the right path. And I almost feel like some of you, something that some of you need to hear as well, which is like, I feel like saying you're exactly where you need to be. Leo, like you're exactly where you need to be. The new beginning will come in, the offer will arrive. Try not to spend the time between now and the offer coming in, excessively worrying or taking on excessive thoughts on will it work, will it not work, so forth and so on. The new beginning's arriving, and I feel like some of you are saying I feel like some of you may need to even tell yourself that you're exactly where you need to be. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.